For me, this is the time of year where it is absolutely, completely fun to cover recruiting. And we're going to look at the Penn State secondary situation as the reason why. We know Cameron Kelly, the big-time athlete out of Virginia, is set to decide next week. We also know Lewis Cine is very high on Penn State's radar. He's a safety who, from Florida, used to play in Massachusetts, now is down in Texas. We know he's there. And also DeMarco Helms out of Hyattsville, DeMatha in Maryland. Penn State continues to talk to him a lot more as an athlete than just as a DB. So why does it get interesting? Because Penn State already has 4 commitments from guys that are going to play in the secondary. It started long ago when Keaton Ellis, the local guy, committed to Penn State. And then you have Tyler Rudolph commits, Marquise Wilson commits. They're both out of Connecticut. And then Jaquan Brisker, the junior college safety, commits. What does this all mean? Well, as we just talked about, those are 7 names. Now, Helms, maybe he can play receiver, but even so, there's 6 names if you're going to go with Kelly and Lewis Cine. So what do you do if you're Penn State? Do you take them all? Do you say, hey, look, even though we only slotted for 4 or 5 guys in our secondary, do we go and take 6? That's what makes it interesting. If you pass on one guy, doesn't mean you get the other guy. A lot of decisions there to be made with Penn State, and it starts out with Cameron Kelly and what he's going to do. Penn State, Virginia, and Clemson are the schools that he's really focused on. Clemson's trying to make a late push. Virginia's been involved for a while too. He was at Penn State in the spring, and many people thought that his commitment was wrapped up to the Nittany Lions when he left campus in the spring. Obviously, that is not the case. He continued to make some more visits. And then you look at Lewis Cine, who told me back in January that it's going to be very hard to beat Penn State. That was when he was going to school at Everett High in Massachusetts. He's now down at Trinity Christian in Texas. A lot of different people pulling on him in Texas. He's got access to a lot more schools down there, especially the ones in the SEC and the Big 12 that are close by that he can go visit, but he still has Penn State really high on his list. And then with Helms, you know, he's going to visit Alabama in June. He's also looking hard at Clemson, Virginia Tech's in the mix. Michigan tried to get involved again. They were at his school, see if they can get a visit out of him, and Penn State remains an option with DeMarco Helms. So a lot to see in the month of June coming up and how it transpires and what it means for Penn State's secondary in the future.